Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're joining us live on Top Search channel 106. We are also coming to you live on CanStream app, as well as on our social media handles, which is Facebook on Camnet TV, as well as YouTube Camnet TV. Here are the top stories making headlines in our news tonight. I am duly recognized Patriotic Front President. CHABINGA tells ECO after Mount drop his presidency. MUNIR ZULU jailed again, this time for sedition. It's time to resign, Socialist Party tell local government PAs as he seemingly fails to live up to his promise of delivering 156 ambulances by May. And in international news, global press freedom declines sharply, RSF warns in 2025 report. And in sports news, Zambia under 20 optimistic ahead of Egypt AFCON match on Saturday. Do join me with the details shortly after this break. Thank you so much for still staying with us with the news in detail. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Mafinga Member of Parliament Robert CHABINGA has reaffirmed his position as acting president of the Patriotic Front PF, citing recognition by the Registrar of Societies as validation of his leadership. This comes in response to the recent endorsement by Materi MP Sampa of former Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu as PF presidential candidate for the 2026 general elections. Speaking at a press briefing today, Mr. CHABINGA dismissed the endorsement as baseless and unfounded. He argued that Mr. Lungu is ineligible to contest the 2026 elections as declared by the Constitutional Court and questioned the legal grounds on which Mr. Sampa and ECO PF function acting president Given Lewinda intend to facilitate his candidature.
Some individuals have brazenly claimed that the party's leadership has been handed over to the former president, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, in preparation for 2026 general elections. I think even the child that has been born now with the technology can laugh. First, how do you hand over the party to the person now, to the person one who is not eligible to stand as a president, to stand on any election in this country? The Constitutional Court determined. And I don't know why people should even be wasting time to think that that is the situation. Secondly, the people that are handing over the party to, who are they? Who are they? Who is the Honorable Mount Zambia. That's why, if you have seen, I've been very quiet for some months, because I realize that sometimes when you are doing churches with the people, that doesn't matter. I was seeing, I was reading, I was called all sorts of names. Sometimes I was addressed to Azaka Kunkubiti. Sometimes I was addressed as in all sorts of names that I was called. Who is the Mao Sampa? Who is the Rafael Nakachita? Who is Given Louis and their minions? SG.
Yes, Mr. President.
Do you have the names of those characters anyway?
No, not anyway.
I feel to wonder, can you go and claim the farm when you don't have a title deed? And you say, no, this is my farm. One, I am in charge. I am in charge of the PF.
The Lusaka Magistrate Court has sentenced incarcerated a former Lumezi Member of Parliament, MUNIR ZULU, to 18 months of imprisonment with hard labor and has fined him 8,000 kwacha on one count of altering seditious practices in September 2023, contrary to Section 57 of the Penal Code. On Wednesday, Lusaka Magistrate Trevor Kasanda found Mr. Zulu guilty and ruled that his remarks had a seditious motive and what he said had capacity to raise discontent among Zambians, especially that he was a lawmaker. In passing the sentence, Magistrate Kasanda ruled that MPs must ensure that statements do not lead to any discontent and that the offense is prevalent in Zambia, hence the need to deter would-be offenders. Allegations are that on September 6, 2023, Mr. Zulu said seditious words claiming President Hakainde Hichilema was going to dissolve Parliament on Friday, September 8, 2023, after addressing Parliament, and that he was going to call for early elections. Socialist Party National Youth Secretary Stanley Mobasa has called on Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary for Technical Services Nicholas Piri to immediately resign for failure to deliver ambulances promised in 2024. In November last year, Mr. Piri assured the nation that 156 ambulances would be delivered by May 2025 to enhance emergency medical services. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Mubasa says the decline has now passed and there are no ambulances in sight, a situation he says reflects government's failure to uphold its commitment, resulting in serious consequences for public health. He argues that the failure to deliver the ambulances has likely contributed to preventable deaths, especially among vulnerable population in rural areas who rely heavily on public health infrastructure.
We wish to remind the PSC Technical Services, Ministry of Local Government and Urban Development, that obviously he has a calendar in his office, and even in his phone he has a calendar. We are in May, 2nd of May. He promised us that if the ambulances are not delivered by May, he would do the honorable thing by confirming that he has failed the people of Zambia, by telling them lies, and that he would be resigning. He made these remarks towards the last quarter of 2024 in November. We are here to remind him that a lot of people have been depending on those ambulances in rural areas, in urban areas, to save their loved ones. We can confirm today, even giving an opinion would be correct, to say a lot of people obviously have died as a result of not accessing medical services, primarily because these people don't have the money to get on a car to take their relatives to the hospital and to the clinic. So those ambulances are extremely important. That being the case, we cannot have a PS who is allowing this situation to continue to deteriorate. We can say this situation is one where those individuals who are failing to do the honorable thing are serial murderers. You can't have a situation where people are dying like flies and you are comfortable, you are not bothered. A leader must be moved when people are dying as a result of bad systems. We are challenging him to deliver as he promised. If he has not done so, there is only one option for him: to announce that the ambulances are not in, or to announce that he's resigning like he promised.
The Community Action Against Corruption, CASC, has criticized the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, stating that both institutions lack the capacity and commitment required to effectively prosecute corruption cases within the 5-month timeframe mandated by the law. CACC Chief Executive Officer Brighton Tembo has described the timeframe as highly ambitious but currently unattainable due to institutional weakness and an external political influence. Mr. Tembo says the law introduced in 2024 aimed at fast-tracking corruption trials has not delivered results, with no single case concluded with the 5-month period. He argues that the judiciary also lacks the independence and internal strength necessary to support timely conclusions of such cases, raising concerns about the dominance of the executive in influencing judicial processes.
You know, as the Community Action Against Corruption, we believe the current Anti-Corruption Commission and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, they have no capacity or spine to complete the corruption cases within 5 months after being submitted in the courts of law. Because when you look at the Anti-Corruption Commission, it has internal weaknesses. For example, they took long just to investigate cases. So just as long as the systems are not taking corruption seriously and looking at it as a calamity which has made Zambia to be looted and plundered by the elite members of society, the conclusion of cases in 5 months is doubtful. Even our judiciary, they still lack capacity, internal capacity to do that, and they also come sometimes under what we believe to be external influence from those who do not respect separation of powers. So it is difficult. So, and we can say the Anti-Corruption Commission should not wait for the people of Zambia to remind it to say, can you update the nation on important investigations on high-profile corruption cases like the Financial Intelligence Center and the investigations of cabinet ministers. They have to do that periodically.
Climate-smart agriculture expert Dr. Oliver Bulaya has urged government to accelerate the construction of new dams across the country as a strategic measure to enhance water security and boost agriculture productivity in the face of climate change. Speaking during a visit to Hachanga Dam in Monze, Dr. Bulaya emphasized that expanding water infrastructure is crucial for supporting irrigation, livestock farming, and sustaining rural livelihoods. Dr. Bulaya noted that while current dams like Hachanga have been successfully managed to avoid silting and ensure constant water supply, there is an urgent need to replicate such effort nationwide. He called on the government to prioritize dam construction in national development plans, particularly in regions prone to drought and water scarcity, to caution communities against the adverse impact of Camnet of climate variabilities.
You know, as the Community Action Against Corruption, we believe the current Anti-Corruption Commission and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, they have no capacity or spine to complete the corruption cases within 5 months after being submitted in the courts of law. Because when you look at the Anti-Corruption Commission, it has internal weaknesses. For example, they took long just to investigate cases. So just as long as the systems are not taking corruption seriously and looking at it as a calamity which has made Zambia to be looted and plundered by the elite members of society. The conclusion of cases in 5 months is doubtful. Even our judiciary, they still lack capacity, internal capacity to do that, and they also come sometimes under what we believe to be external influence from those who do not respect separation of powers. So it is difficult. So, and we can say the Anti-Corruption Commission should not wait for the people of Zambia to remind it to say, can you update the nation on important investigations on high-profile corruption cases like the Financial Intelligence Center and the investigations of cabinet ministers. They have to do that periodically.
Police in Lusaka are investigating a shooting incident that occurred in Werere area of Lusaka on May 1st, 2025, involving a dispute between two neighbors over land. The Zambia Police Service confirmed that the altercation turned violent when one of the parties allegedly discharged a firearm, injuring two individuals. Police Public Relations Officer Ray Hamonga says the incident took place around 16 hours and was promptly reported to Ngorore Police Station. Mr. Kelvin Chambwa, 43, reported that his neighbor, Mr. Alex Yame, 59, of Lusaka West, fired 3 shots at close range during a confrontation, and that one bullet grazed Mr. Chambwa on a forehead, while another reportedly struck Mr. Siame's son, Innocent Siame, on the hand. Mr. Hamonga says preliminary investigation suggests that the dispute escalated when Mr. Chambwa, to the ground, confronted Mr. Siame over an alleged land confrontation.
The Zambia Police Service through Ngorore Police Station is investigating a serious shooting incident which occurred on the 1st of May 2025 at approximately 16 hours in Ngorore area of Lusaka. The incident was reported at 16:02 hours by Mr. Kelvin Chambwa, aged 43, of Ngorele, who alleged that his neighbor, Mr. Alex Yame, aged 59, of Lusaka West, attempted to kill him by discharging a firearm at close range. Mr. Siame is reported to have fired 3 shots from a pistol serial number 13821. One of the shots allegedly grazed Mr. Chambwa on the left side of his forehead, resulting in a visible bruise. Additionally, another shot is believed to have struck Mr. Siame's son, Mr. Innocent Siame, on his left hand. Preliminary investigations reveal that the altercation arose from a land dispute. Mr. Chambwa confronted the suspect of alleged land encroachment, during which he was pushed to the ground by Mr. Siame, who then discharged the firearm. Construction workers who were nearby intervened and helped prevent further harm. Police officers responded swiftly to the scene, where they recovered 3 empty cartridges, casings, and observed blood stains on the ground. The injured parties were issued the medical forms and rushed to Maternal Level 1 hospital, where they were treated and discharged. A docket of case has been opened and investigations are ongoing. The suspect is currently in police custody, and the firearm used in the commission of the offense has been confiscated. We wish to assure members of the public that the Zambia Police Service remains committed to ensuring justice prevails and that all forms of violence, particularly involving firearms, are thoroughly investigated and dealt with according to the law.
The Republican Progressive Party, RPP, a member of the UPND Alliance, has praised President Hakainde Hichilema for his continued willingness to engage in dialogue with opposition political parties, provided he has engagement is grounded in serenity and driven by national interest. RPP President Leslie Chukose expressed concern over what he described as a dismissive attitude exhibited by some opposition leaders towards the president's call for dialogue, calling it unfortunate and counterproductive. He emphasized that for dialogue to yield meaningful and constructive outcomes, all political stakeholders must approach the process with integrity, issuing personal agendas, inflammatory rhetoric, and actions that risk undermining national peace and development.
As a Republican Progressive Party, we want to reaffirm that President Hakainde Hichilema has consistently demonstrated his readiness to engage in dialogue with opposition political parties, provided that such engagement is rooted in sincerity and national interest. However, the dismissive stance taken by some opposition leaders towards the president's invitation for dialogue is regrettable. For dialogue to be meaningful and productive, all political players must approach the table with clean hands, free from personal agenda, inflammatory rhetoric, or attempts to undermine peace and progress. The Republican Progressive Party strongly echoes that political dialogue in a democratic dispensation is not optimal. It is essential. It strengthens national cohesion, fosters inclusivity, governance, and ensures that every citizen's voice can find representation in a peaceful and constructive manner. Dialogue allows political differences to be managed without conflict and ensures that governance reflects collective wisdom rather than partisan division. As a member of the UPND Alliance, the Republican Progressive Party believes that Zambia's democratic future depends on mature, honest, and patriotic engagement among all stakeholders. We therefore urge our colleagues in the opposition to respond to the president open with goodwill and integrity. The Republican Progressive Party remains fully committed to fostering a political culture anchored in dialogue, civility, and shared responsibility for national development.
Governance expert and human rights advocate Wesley Muyanda has commended President Hakainde Hichilema and his administration for their continued commitment to revitalizing Zambia's mining sector, a key pillar of the national economy. He noted that the government's strategic interventions in the industry are not only strengthening economic resilience, but also contributing significantly to job creation and business development. Mr. Muyanda highlighted the unlocking of major national mining assets such as Konkola Copper Mines KCM, Mopani Copper Mines, and Kasenseli Gold Mine as a clear indication of progress. These developments, he said, are already beginning to positively impact Zambia's economic growth trajectory and reflect a broader effort to reposition the country as a competitive mining destination. He specifically praised Vendetta Resources for the commendable progress made at KCM, where operational efficiency has improved. The company has implemented a 20% salary increment for employees, enhanced working conditions, created new jobs, and expanded business opportunities for local suppliers. Additionally, Vendetta is delivering on its $20 million corporate social responsibility (CSR) pledge through investment in health, sports, and community initiatives. Mopani Copper Mines is also showing promising signs of recovery. The Zambia Congress of Trade Unions, ZCTU, has expressed support for the government's proposed constitutional amendments, describing them as a reflection of the aspiration of the Zambian workforce and a step towards strengthening democratic governance. Speaking during Labor Day celebration held yesterday in Mongo, ZCTU National Representative Makai commended the government's inclusive approach and its commitment to reinforcing institutional framework. Mr. Makai further urged the government to intensify public sensitization efforts to ensure that citizens are well informed and understand the roadmap of the proposed amendments.
The Constitution must reflect the collective aspirations of Zambians. The civil society, the church, should reclaim their role in championing a people-driven constitutional process and not taking a partisan position. Guests of honor, we are on the record as ZCTU that we are in support of the proposed constitutional amendments, except you should come very clear on the issue of nominated MPs. Can you tell us, in the proposed amendments, how many MPs do you propose to nominate?
We want to thank the ZCTU for supporting the constitutional amendments. This is what we want to see in this country: constructive dialogue, constructive engagement, and not simply noise making. This is very important. We are inspired with your support, and we will convey your request on the number of nominated members of parliament proposed, since you say the 5% is not clear. Otherwise, we are very grateful.
The Partners Institute Southern Africa, PSAF, has reaffirmed its commitment to safeguarding the integrity of Zambia's information ecosystem as the world commemorates International Fact-Checking Day. Through its Ivarity Zambia platform, PSAF is leading efforts to combat misinformation, disinformation, and other forms of information pollution that threaten public trust and democracy. Organization Executive Director Vusumosi Sifile notes that the rapid spread of false information continues to undermine social cohesion, public health, and the democratic process. Mr. Sifile is calling for a coordinated approach involving government institutions, civil society, media, and technology platforms to amplify verified information and curb the spread of dangerous narratives. He emphasizes that fact-checking is a national imperative, especially as misinformation increasingly dominates public discourse. The organization believes that collaborative efforts are essential in promoting transparency, accuracy, and accountability across the information landscape. With support from the International Fact-Checking Network, AFCN, through the Build 2024 initiative, PSFN is strengthening the fact-checking and verification capacities of various stakeholders. The institution is also contributing to the formation of the Zambia National Action Coalition on Information Integrity, a multi-stakeholder platform aimed at reinforcing the country's defensive against the falsehoods. This is the main news coming to you live on Camnet TV on Top Search on 106. We are also streaming live on social media as well as on Facebook at Camnet TV, as well as on our YouTube channel, that is Camnet TV. We'll now take our first and final set of commercials. Do join me with the rest of the news, that is international stories as well as sports news after the break. Keep watching.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel. Get all the latest updates.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us, ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha, paid express, once collateral is viewed, valued, and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, downlights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palabana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, media news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In forgotten stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. This is the main news on Camnet TV News, coming to you live on Topsa channel 106. We are streaming live as well on Kenstra Media, as well as on Facebook, that is Camnet TV, on our YouTube channel, that is Camnet TV. We'll now continue with the rest of the news. And in international news, press freedom is facing unprecedented global challenges, according to the latest World Press Freedom Index released by Reporters Without Borders, RSF. For the first time since its inception, the index categorizes the overall state of press freedom worldwide as difficult. Europe remains the most supportive region for press freedom, with all of the top 15 countries located on the continent. Norway leads the rankings, followed by Estonia, the Netherlands, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. However, RCF notes that Southern and Eastern Europe continue to show worrying signs of decline. The situation is dire in the Middle East, particularly in Gaza, where dozens of journalists have reportedly been killed amid Israel's military campaign. RSF describes Palestine as the most dangerous place in the world for journalists, citing targeted killings for media professionals as a major concern. Here is a roundup of international news.
Sounding the alarm on the state of press freedom. It's been nearly 3 months since Reporters Without Borders laid 20 coffins at the Place de la République in Paris to draw attention to the plight of Ukrainian journalists imprisoned or even killed by Russia in the war in Ukraine. The stark message resonates even louder ahead of World Press Freedom Day. Reporters Without Borders publishing their annual index on the best place to be a journalist. RSF has ranked Europe as having the most press freedom in the world. Southern and eastern areas, though, are still lagging behind the rest of the continent. In Gaza, the coffins are very real. Ranked at 163, Palestine has become one of the most dangerous places for journalists in the world amid Israel's war. Euromed Monitor estimates at least 211 journalists have been killed in the enclave since the beginning of the conflict. Meanwhile, the US is now down to a record low ranking of 57. RSF pointing the finger at President Donald Trump for overseeing what it says is a troubling deterioration.
An online game by the name Fanta Papa has been created to predict who will be the next Pope. The app has 11 cardinals who are poised to become the next leader. Users have the ability to predict who will partake in the next pontiff role. The site, which was created in February when Francis was hospitalized, has more than 60,000 registered users.
I believe this game is a really fun game to play with friends and have a laugh. Initially, my dad sent it to me, ironically, but now that it's going to be the conclave, I decided to have a go and try it. And I noticed it has so many features and different things you can choose, so I decided to have my choices, and I decided to put Tagle as my captain, as my main candidate to become Pope, because he looks like a nice guy and a fun person, so I decided to go with him.
The users have the ability to select a team just like soccer they think have the best chance to become the next Pope. The app has attracted thousands of youths. I found out about this online game. I think I will play it because anyway it's a nice and quite youthful thing in a shop to put on such a topic even among young people. And I'm still undecided who I would choose to captain the team. I think of Zopi because he has a nice face, honestly. I like him, and then I heard a lot of good news about him, so this one. They choose the top contenders or captain. So far, players' top choices have been Francis, Secretary of State, Italian Cardinal Pietro Parolin, closely followed by Matteo Maria Zuppi.
Preparations for the conclave to find a new pope accelerated Friday with the installation of the chimney of the Sistine Chapel that will signal the election of a successor to Pope Francis. Vatican firefighters were seen on the roof of the Sistine Chapel installing the chimney, a key moment in the preparation for the May 7 conclave. After every 2 rounds of voting in the Sistine Chapel, the ballots of the cardinals are burned in a special furnace to indicate the outcome to the outside world. If no pope is chosen after a round of voting, black smoke will be seen. If there is a winner, white smoke will rise out of the chimney.
Zambia Under 20 coach Boyd Mulwanda says his squad is ready and positive to face host Egypt on Saturday in a Group A encounter of the Total Energies AFCON Under 20 fixture. He admits that playing against Egypt won't be an easy match, adding that his land will fight for the team to ensure that they get a point from the encounter. Mulwanda says a game of this magnitude has to be approached with a meaningful mentality, further adding that the team has to deliver for the fans and the country. Zambia is aiming to improve on their performance in this year's tournament. In 2023, they exited the tournament in the group stage without a win, finishing at the bottom of Group C with only 1 point. In the other opening match of Group A, the host Egypt defeated South Africa 1-0, taking the top spot in the table. Currently, both Zambia and Sierra Leone have 1 point each.
We are preparing for Egypt. I think everyone is positive and everyone is putting in his effort to try and get a positive result against Egypt on Saturday. Yeah, that's the most dangerous part. When the team is coming from a loss, they'll try and recover from that loss. So playing against that team is not easy because they know that they have lost the game. So they have to make amends and win the next match. But looking at the way the boys have been preparing, I think everyone is ready and we are going to fight for the team. Yeah, it's very important for us. The point will motivate the boys to go and fight and get a win. We need to win in this tournament. If you checked from the previous edition that we came here, we never won a game. But this one, at least, we have to tell the boys that we have to win a match in this competition. We've been talking to the boys to be positive and let's utilize our chances that we create. A game of this magnitude, it just needs one chance. You score and you defend and you win the match. Yeah, from the the start of the preparations, I think the boys are positive and they're showing signs that they want to win and achieve something for the nation. We've told them to be free and express themselves. It's their stage, it's their game, and it's for their future. For us, we're just here to help them and to guide them. Where they're not doing right, we try to help them and see how best they can perform on the field. Yeah, it's very important for us to deliver, because the fans, everyone is just hoping the boys to put up a good fight and qualify for the World Cup. So we've told the boys that the demand is just too high at home. We have to work extra hard and get the positive result that the people want at home.
That's it for our main news tonight. Remember, you've been catching us live on Top Search channel 106 as well as on Camnet Media. We've also been streaming live on our Facebook page, that is Camnet TV, as well as on our YouTube channel Camnet TV. Here's a recap of the stories making headlines. I am duly recognized Patriotic Front President. CHABINGA tells ECO after Miles drops his presidency. MUNIR ZULU jailed again, this time for sedition. It's time to resign. The Socialist Party tells a local government PS as he seemingly fails to live up to his promise of delivering 156 ambulances by May. In international news, global press freedom rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer, distributing to the insistency of saints, given to hospitality. Bless them which persecute you, bless and curse them. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Good night, and thank you so much for watching. Good night, and God bless you all.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.